Savage. What up, man?
Let's get it. What's going on, my brother? What's good with it?
Chilling, man. Thanks for joining the program, homie.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, bro. Blessings, bro.
Recently, the big story in hip hop was the death of a rapper by the name of FBG Duck. Are you familiar with FBG Duck and the whole Chicago drill scene?
Absolutely. Very familiar.
Okay, cool. Yeah, RIP FBG Duck, man, one of the more talented, if you ask me, of that Chicago drill scene. And they have this thing where they're up there, and I want your opinion on this, Mark Savage.
Okay.
They have this thing up there that you're probably aware of, but not a lot of people are aware of, where they actually diss the dead homies of other gangs. You know what I mean? Their ops or whatever. They literally have songs, and I mean, FBG Duck wasn't dead for 24 hours, and there was a bunch of diss songs out already just on him, and diss videos and things like that. But I would love your opinion on that aspect of hip hop, man.
To be honest, man, I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with it, man. Chicago really, in my opinion, has like taken this whole music scene, man, and the whole streets to the music. I feel like they elevated it to the point where it's like beyond us, bro. I don't even think it's something, it's contagious, dog. Like, in my opinion, it's like back in the day, you remember when the West Coast had to beef with the East Coast.
Yep.
And, it was kind of like a lot of things, the media was pumping into stuff like this. But this shit, man, the shit they got going on, man, and the way it's being, a virus that's being gone to different cities, because even cities like down here in Atlanta, it might not be necessarily dissing the dead, but like, man, it's like everybody's just dissing each other. Now it's just like, hey, man, you got a problem with somebody, hop on a song, let's diss them. You know what I mean? Let's do a video for it and hop in the videos with the guns and stuff, man. And they created that, man. I feel like everything we see right now is coming from that drill Chicago scene, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that Brooklyn, everything that's coming out of Brooklyn right now is pretty much, an imitation of, the Chicago drill scene. And yeah, even that mentality is, like you said, it's bleeding into the system and of hip hop. And I'm not a fan of that, dog. I'm a fan of just getting on the mic and battling word for word or whatever. But damn, when you're dead home, like that takes it to a whole other level, homie.
Yeah, and personally, man, I think about it like this, just from a global, I won't use any of my personal homies because I don't think anybody of the listeners understand, but I'm gonna use somebody from the turf. I'm gonna use somebody like Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody came out with a diss right now saying fuck Nipsey Hussle, dog,
oh my God.
Like, man, I just can't even imagine how we gonna react to that, bro. Like,
that person would not last 24 hours. I mean, 60s are everywhere, first of all, and not even that. Diehard Nipsey fans are everywhere. Crips are everywhere. Bloods, you can't just say that. You're exactly right, dude. It'd be a done deal.
A done deal.
Yeah. Shit. Speaking on that, and not to give shine to this clown, but did you see that video today of TEKASHI 6ix9ine walking around LA? That broke my heart because I'm in it. I'm like I'm not even 10 miles away from where that is, and I'm like, how did this motherfucker even get out of the car, man?
Man, and you know what it is, like, because that guy that actually caught 6ix9ine on camera, that was like, yo, that shade room. If he said he was out here, woo, he was on the air for like 120 seconds.
Yeah.
We know him. He from the hood, so we contact him like, yo, bro, like what, what happened? I had a few homies like they like, yo, we all tapped in on the phone call, man, and he kind of was just saying like, yo, like they was on like it was parts in that we didn't really get to see from the video, but it was people out there that was like, yo, what the fuck, like yelling at them.
Word.
And the security was pointing guns at them, like back up, like we'll shoot type thing. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not there. I wasn't there to verify that, but that's what the homies and some other people were saying. So, and
But what are your thoughts on a person like a TEKASHI 6ix9ine? And when I want to go a little bit deeper into that question, and what I mean is the person who joins a gang after they become famous. I can name a bunch of them. The Chris Browns, the Soldier Boys, like all of them. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that type?
I think they're moving backwards, bro. I think they're moving backwards, especially to be in your 20s or your 30s, however long it takes you to get put on, man. In my opinion, just coming from somebody that was involved with that as a kid, man, we talking elementary, middle school, getting involved. For you to do that as a grown man, to me, you moving backwards. It's like, why you become a millionaire and then you doing something somebody like me did when I was, you know,
11 or
elementary,
12, yeah.
yeah, 11 or 12, you know, and you doing that as a grown man. To me, it's backwards, man. That's just like going back and putting Pampers on, man. So
yeah. Is there like some extortion involved?
oh,
Pay
yeah, I
us,
was,
you know.
yeah, for sure. I would say honestly, from my point of view, and just being, you know, tapped in and living in LA and things like that, I personally feel like 80% of it is extortion, because I feel like you got somebody like Chris Brown and a lot of these other artists, man, they move to LA because that's like the mecca of like just this music industry and everything. They move out to the West, and I feel like, man, they run into gang. I mean, it's gangs everywhere. You know, I mean, it's gang members everywhere, and it's gang members that live in Beverly Hills. It's gang members that's out there throwing, you know, Airbnbs with the homies and stuff out there, as we just seen the Trey gangsters doing that they had on the news and stuff. Like, we out, like, it's gang members everywhere. So somebody like Chris Brown, they might be out there, you know, scrolling. They might run into a gang member, and just because they don't want to get hurt, or they don't want a situation like Pop Smoke's situation, RP Pop Smoke, you know, you get a situation like that happen, they want to prevent that. So they feel like the only way to prevent that in LA is to be a part of some particular set, man. And I feel like that's just, you know, friendly extortion. They don't want to get caught up in the mix. So they think, okay, let me pay these dues, or let me jump over here and act like these my homies and give free features so I can daggone make sure I'm protected, you know. But that's what I feel like going on a lot.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And almost everybody I talked to pretty much has said the same exact thing. So I was just trying to reiterate it, put another stamp on it.
Absolutely.
But you mentioned Pop Smoke, man. R.I.P. He was going to be one of the biggest. He was already headed in that direction, man. Crip rapper from New York, came out to L.A. and just like my man Mark Savage mentioned earlier, they were in an upscale neighborhood, $5, $6, $7, $8 million homes, and someone caught him slipping, man. Straight up, there's no better way to put it. But my question for you is, because you are in the music business, you do your thing, and you know you are gang affiliated. What are your thoughts on how rappers, besides extortion, what we were just talking about and all that, what are your thoughts on how rappers with gang ties should move when they're, you know, going from city to city?
My honest opinion, man, and this is just me, and I pray this interview hits 1 million views and people can quote me on this to the day I die, man. I honestly feel like, man, if you are gang affiliated and you become successful, I personally feel like, man, you need to have people around you that have those gang ties. You need to have people around you like that. And I feel like you as a rapper need to have it with you as well, man. I know a lot of these rappers like, oh, I can't have a pistol. Man, look, if for everybody who listening, man, follow Derek Grace too on Instagram, man. He got a post-Trump package to show felons how they can carry weapons. Everybody can carry weapons no matter what. There's a way around everything. Bro, you need to have that on you and have the homies around you. If you gang affiliated, jumping in this music industry and you happen to take off, you need to have the homies around you. I know people be like, nah, man, you know, homies be around thirsty and whoop, whoop. You know which ones you need to have around you. You know which ones you don't. Like, I know which ones I'm calling when I touch down. Hey, bro, I'm here. I'm calling T-Sam. I'm calling GK. I'm calling all these different individuals. Like, hey, bro, I'm here. Tap in with me real quick. I'm finna go to XYZ. You can't, because, I mean, it's only so much you can do. And then you never know who is who. And then it's just best, man, you just keep people around you that know what they're doing and that they know how to watch you. You know, because see, somebody like 6ix9ine, man, he don't understand you paying these, you know, I call them SWAT team members, man. You paying these SWAT team members to watch you in LA, but them dudes don't know them cameras like we know them cameras. They might not know them back alleys like we know them back alleys. So you might think you know, oh yeah, I'm good out here.
Get
and
sniped from behind.
Yeah, you know. So, you know, I'll leave it there on that one. But yeah, like, you just gotta have those people around, man. You got to. Yeah.
Lil Boosie has a famous Vlad TV interview where he says that it's impossible for an active gang member to have 1 foot in the street and 1 foot in the studio. Have you seen that interview? And if you haven't, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, I have seen that interview. My thoughts on that is Boosie's correct. Personally, I definitely feel like you can't do it. I personally feel like you can't. I'm not doing it. You know, it's impossible. It is impossible because, I mean, it's bound to happen where you know, you're blowing up, your music's going, and you putting out these music videos, and especially with social media, man, you might have just did a certain mission last week on some dudes, and they remember your face, and they like, yo, this the rapper, yo, this the dude. All right, let's follow him. So now you got fake pages following you, man. It's the game now. The fake pages following you. You know, you an artist, so your page is public. They going on your pages when you going live. Yo, we in the trenches right now. Woo, 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 woo. They like, oh yeah, hey, bro. He just posted that he over woo, 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 and then you getting somebody pulling up on you, blowing your head off. You know what I mean? And that's the game these days, man. You can't do both. You can't.
Now, when did you personally first hear about Bloods and Crips? Was it around because it was around you, or because you saw it on the movie Colors, or Menace to Society, or something like that?
So my first time personally hearing about Bloods and Crips, I was 10 years old, and I remember I was in school, and I remember after school they had this park and rec area where like a bunch of dudes used to go to hoop and stuff like that, a bunch of the middle school dudes, high school dudes, some dudes that was local. And I remember like seeing Crip on the freaking basketball court. And I was like, damn, what the fuck is this? And I looked and I was like, yo, it's Crip, Nobody really, especially dudes my age, didn't really know. Like, they like, yo, I think it's like, they didn't really know. I think it's like a clique or something, man. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking it's like a clique. And then, man, as soon as I seen it on the basketball court, I remember meeting this dude named they call him Baby Blue. I remember this dude named Baby Blue. I'm like, yo, bro, like, cause he used to wear the blue bandana all the time. I'm like, yo, is you a part of this Crip shit that's all on the walls and the fucking basketball court? He like, yeah, cuz I'm a part of that, And I'm like, where? Like, what is it? He said, oh, it's a gang. It's from LA. And I'm like, you from LA? He like, yeah, I'm from LA. And I'm like, oh, word. I said, what you do? What you doing out here, all the way out here? He like, yo, it's like, man, I got kicked out of freaking Los Angeles. Like, I'm not allowed back. I'm like, damn. And he said he had a granny that stayed in Charlotte, you know what I mean, where I was born at. I was born in Charlotte. So I'm like, damn, you from LA all the way in Charlotte, And then that was my first time hearing about it. From that point on, man, it just seemed like as soon as I put my eyes on it, I was able to identify it from that point forward, man. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm in my 40s, and when I was coming up, Banging on Wax was a big album. And one of my best friends is from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, which isn't too far from where you are. And he told me that once that album came out, he said Crips and Bloods were spouted out everywhere. And we're talking a gentleman in his, almost 45, 50 or whatever.
Facts.
Yeah. So it's just so interesting how, shit from the West Coast can spread like that. Would you say, I guess to the best of your knowledge, when did your hood, or how did your hood make it to Charlotte?
So personally, what happened with us, man, I feel like a lot of us on the East Coast and down South, we had it misconstrued so much, because I feel like a lot of people saw it. And like you said, the Banging on Wax stuff, and everybody was like, yo, I get like a lot of the dudes that was like my big homies. I feel like they just saw it, man. And they just was like, yo, like, we gonna do that. Like, we had a dude named Paco Greer, he was one of like the main dudes, and he was another dude that was from Los Angeles. Another dude, I got kicked out of LA. I'm like, damn, what you doing here? His freaking mom was from Charlotte. He like, yeah, my mom from Charlotte, man. So I moved out here with her because LA put me out. I can't go back. I'm like, damn, that's up. They do people like that in LA, man. But he came out here, and then he was like, yeah, I'm from the 60s, though. We like, what the fuck is the 60s? He like, yo, y'all ever seen Boys in the Hood? And we laughing about it like, yeah, we seen that. He like, yo, that shit about us. I'm like, word? Me thinking about it like, what? No way, bro. Like, hell no. He like, bro, all that shit, they had to come to us and ask to film that shit in our neighborhood and shit like that. And we like, damn, that's crazy. And we was like inspired by that. We like, yo, we want to boss up like that. We want coming to Charlotte, wanting to shoot videos about us and shit too, And yeah, man, he just started really tapping people in. SIP Mud, man, who from LA also. Them folks, man, he would have folks coming from LA out here. Like, we got homies out here. Bro, it's crazy to know like how like cats in LA would see their section outside of LA, and they would be amazed by it. Like, bro, y'all bang the hood out here? And they just look like, what? Like, yeah, bro, that shit spread like wildfire, bro. It take one person to just come to another city and be like, yo, I want to start a fraction here. And boom, there it is.
Yeah.
So Paco was my my direct line from LA. And then from that point forward, as I grew older, I started going to LA myself. And to this day, you know, I created my own relationships and, you know, tapped in and did what I had to do to make sure they knew my face and know who I was. So
not to, bring it down, but it's an important, unfortunate situation in hip hop history. But take yourself back to March 31st, 2019, and you heard about the death of Nipsey Hussle. Talk to me about what the hood was feeling, how you were feeling, and just what went down that day.
yeah, so it was fucked up, man. Because let me tell you, I was in LA in 2019 when he got killed, and I was actually on 64th. That's a street in the hood, man. I was out there, and I was actually at one of the homegirls' crib, man, and we was chilling. I'm out there. I was focused on like making some music, and it's just one of them days, man. Wasn't nobody. I just wasn't trying to be out that day. And then like we had heard the news. I saw it on my phone first, and at first I was just like, yo, like ain't no way, like we can just go right up here, like from 64th to Crenshaw and Slauson, like 3-4 minutes. I'm like, bro, we can just drive up there and see. Man, like as soon as we saw like the news, we was like, yo, if it's real, we'll be. I seen the fucking helicopters in the sky and shit. I'm like, yo, did he really get killed? Because I seen the messages and them shits kept popping back to back to back to back, and they wasn't letting nobody over there and shit. Man, I was like, yo, this man really got shot. And we just out. We can't get nowhere near him. We can't see him. None of that. We just, all we can do is just be like, fuck. Like we just hope he make it through. And we got the news later on, he passed away and shit, man. But yeah, I was actually in LA at the time, man. It was fucked up, man. I was hurt about that one because Nipsey, as me and you already had conversations off the interview, man. Like Nipsey was one of them dudes I had a close relationship with that was to me an artist that made it, and he was thorough about his, man. So that shit hurt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and from what I read in those text messages, it seemed like you guys were, he let me, read a couple of DMs between him and Nipsey, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing that you had that relationship with dude, man. What was he like, homie? Talk to me about just his aura and everything, man. I never had the chance to meet him, but I've heard great things.
Yeah, I mean, Nip, man, to me, like, granted, people like Pac-Man and Jay Stone, they were his artists, so granted, they were around him way more than me. I was just one of them dudes that's like, yo, he from the hood, yo, I fuck with little dude, man, but Nipsey was one of them dudes, man, like, you could come around Nip, and Nip was one of them dudes that's always like, yo, you straight, you need something, you good? He was one of them type of people that's always trying to make sure whoever around him, they straight, and if something's an issue, he want to make sure it's solved, like, what's wrong? What happened? Tell me what happened. Let's go fix it. He was one of them dudes, man, and man had a good spirit, man. Dude was so dope, man. And then he wanted everybody to be put on game about, how to generate this wealth, man. He was putting us on so much stuff that a lot of stuff, I mean, his interviews tell it all, but a lot of stuff he didn't even put in interviews. He was telling us, and I mean, it was just like crazy. Like even about the taxes, man. He was telling us about, him and Black Sam with the taxes. He was putting us on game about so much stuff, man. Some stuff to this day, like I went and picked up a tax book that I read about a year ago, which I need to refresh my memory on that. But I picked up a tax book just because he mentioned it. Like, yo, it's a tax book out there, man. Y'all need to grab it. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? And I was like, bet, let's go grab that. Figure out what we gonna do on that, and the real estate and all that stuff, man. It was just so much, bro. Some stuff I just wish I had a recorder with me when he would talk, man, just so I could play it for people. Like, yo, this is what Nick would say when I was around him, or this is what he said when he met me, just so people can know that's just not bullshit. Like that man was really like that,
Yeah,
so
man. Yeah, and you obviously wouldn't think that he wouldn't be here right now, so there's no reason to record. But
you feel me?
fuck,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, damn.
yeah.
What a loss, man. What a loss. How old were you when you got put on?
I was 11.
11 and 12, man. Those are the biggest ages that I hear. 11
Yeah,
and
man.
12.
I was 11, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
How does it work, out there when you get put on?
So when we got put it on, man, you get quartered on. When you get quartered on, depending on who orchestrate you get put on, usually, man, if it's, if they put out the word, they putting a homie on, man. If it's 12 people out there, you're going to squabble all 12 that showed up for you put on. You know what I mean? You'll get one-on-ones. You'll get some two-on-ones. You get a couple more one-on-ones. You get a couple more two-on-ones. And to be honest, depending on, like I say, who orchestrating it, everybody put on different. Because I done seen motherfuckers get ran and still wasn't from the hood. So, you know what I mean? I done seen dudes get and ran like a mother, beat the fuck up and sent to the hospital, and then they got put on. And you get somebody like me who they know thorough, they like, man, we know this motherfucker boxing shit already. You know, he athletic, this nigga tall, like we done seen him squabble already. You know, we just got to get you put on. All right, bet, come on, let's get it over. You know what I mean? Get out there, show them your squabble game, man. That's all they really want to see. They just want to see, man, if you get caught up in a bad situation where it's 5 against 1 and you just there, they just want to know your ass ain't finna run on them, so they can talk shit about the hood. We had your homie running at the mall today, or we seen that motherfucker at the park and he ran from us and shit, because then the homie's gonna put a foot in your ass anyway. You might get put off, you might get your little DP or whatever, but hey, you know, you just gotta prove, you gotta have that heart, man. These days and age, I don't even know if they still doing put-ons, man, like, because nowadays, man, everybody pulling out pistols. I mean, fighting don't even matter no more. So
yeah, man, that's a bitch right there.
Yeah,
man, dude. Do you guys have a big Latino gang presence out there?
Charlotte wise, yeah, man, they do. Charlotte, it's like MS-13, the Serenos, and we have a couple like what's that, 18th Street, couple of them cats too, man. But other than that, those are majority of the Hispanic gangs.
What's the relationship like between the Latino gangs and the black gangs?
So the Latino gangs and the black gangs, man, it depends. Cause like, I'm gonna be honest, like it was times we would see the Serenos and, you know, they flagged the blue bandana. We would see them and be like, yo, what up, man? You know what I mean? Like fucking with them, like, me go, you know, shit like that. They'll throw their hand up like, hey, what up, man? What up? You know, shit like that. But then you have certain times where, like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes we catch some Hispanics walking down the street, man, and niggas, some of the homies be hungry, man. They'll fuck around and beat the shit out them Hispanics and take their money. And, you know, the Hispanics come back, now they got problems with the blacks and shit like that, man. So that should be on and off, bro. Like, it's on and off relationship, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays off. That would be awesome.
You feel me? Yeah, man. Lately, you know, Chris, like I said, I've been traveling. I've been everywhere, man. I haven't lived in Charlotte in years, but I can tell you, like, for sure, like last time I was there, it was off. So I just pray it's still like that. But yeah,
that's what's up. To the best of your knowledge, has there ever been a gang truce in Charlotte, even if it was just for a few days? Never, huh? Just on?
No, never.
Since day one.
No gang truce. Yeah, all since day one. Yeah, never a gang truce.
Do you guys have you know, folks and that whole you know, the GDs, BDs, things like that down there?
Yeah, so we do have the GDs, and then we do have a couple guys that bang Vice Lord.
Okay.
And back in the day, I'm not sure. One of the cats, man, yeah, I think I seen one of your interviews. The guy that was from Dirk Gadadas from Harlem 30s.
Yeah. Harlem Smiley, yeah.
Yeah, Harlem Smiley, he spoke on it too, man. Back in the day, the East Coast and down south, man, they had the 8-ball. Did he talk about the 8-ball on your show?
I think he did. Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, so the 8-ball was huge out here, bro. Like, because the GDs and the Crips were together, bro. So, you know, if you put the pitchfork with the C, it make an 8. So that's how the 8-ball came about, man. The GDs and Crips had to team up because the UBN, bro, and the non-trade gangsters, they was large. Especially like when Brick Squad hit the scene and the music, bro. Oh my God, bro. I didn't never see so many fucking Bloods pop up in my life.
Damn.
Like, I'm like, yo, what the at that time, I swear it probably was like 4-to-1 ratio. Like, it was nuts how many Bloods was like out of nowhere on the East Coast and down south, you know? And it was just like, yo, what the fuck? And then, you know, GDs, you know, for the ones that were, at least for the ones outside of Chicago, they wore blue bandanas they damn self. So a lot of Bloods took that as if like they were Crips. So that really initiated their beef with Bloods outside of Chicago. Like, yo, we ain't got nothing to do with that, you know, with the Bloods and Crips thing. But then, you know, they end up getting involved because Bloods was banging on them because it's like, shit, y'all wearing blue bandanas, motherfuckers. Like, you know, so that caused a problem out here. And then, you know, of course, you know, there was no social media around this time or none of that shit for motherfuckers to tap in and figure out that the 8-ball was false. We thinking that shit was the real deal. Holyfield out this like GDs and Crips was together, but that shit wasn't thorough, man. But we made it thorough out here back in the day. But
okay.
Yeah.
When you say Brick Squad, are you talking about the whole Waka Flocka, like Brick Squad and shit like that? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
didn't even know there was a correlation between them and Bloods, or whatever the case is.
Oh yeah, man. When Gucci first dropped
Ice
So
cream.
Icy
Yeah,
with
so icy.
Jeezy,
Yeah.
yeah, and then he came out, and then when Gucci dropped that It's Just Another Day, and the Easter with the red bandana on his
Mm-hmm.
head.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. He started an epidemic. And then what made it worse, everybody knew Jeezy was cripping. So when the whole thing happened with,
Ah,
yeah, so when the whole thing happened with Gucci killing
one of his
Jeezy
homies.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody was like, yo, Jeezy a bitch. Everybody was, Gucci
Mm.
that nigga. And it just seemed like everybody just want to join wave. The blood's where it's at, bro. Them crip niggas weak. Like, it
Mm.
was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
man.
dang. I'm gonna have to go down a rabbit hole and check that shit out. I never put the two and two together, man.
Yeah, that's what happened. Brick Squad, because Walker, and then they had, that whole team was Bloods, and
Mm-hmm.
then especially with them being in Atlanta, so down south, we for sure Charlotte only 3 hours away from Atlanta, so it was like we felt all of that way when Brick Squad hit and niggas just started picking up red bandanas out of nowhere. We felt all of that heat, man, all
Mm.
of it.
Damn.
So
Damn, dog.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Thanks for putting me up on game, man. Shit, man. I
oh
want
yeah.
to definitely give you a chance to promote what you have going on, and tell us, where we can find you and what's next.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Hey, definitely. My Instagram, of course, is CEO Young Savage. That's all spelled correct. And then my YouTube, man, you can find me at Mark Savage. And then also on my end right now, oh yeah, all platforms too, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever you got, Spotify, I'm on all it. Just type in Mark Savage, I'll pop up. And right now, what I got going on, man, we got our merchandise cracking right now.
Yeah, I saw
Uh,
that. You got the clothing line. Talk to me about that.
yeah, the clothing line. Yeah, so it's me and of course my big homie in LA, from the '60s, also T Sam. We got him and then my brother Dre. Man, we all came together and we created the Bag Chasers. Clothing. We got the website dropping probably like in a couple more days, man. And yeah, it's based out of LA, of course. We doing everything from downtown, from the fashion district, all that good shit. And yeah, we getting it bubbling, man. We really putting it together. People been macking in. We've been getting hella sales, So I know when we drop this website, it's gonna go crazy. Y'all can follow that on Instagram at Bag Talk University, all spelled correct, man. And then the website will be out soon. It's probably gonna be www.bagtalkapparel.com.
Mm.
So yeah, y'all can tune in. The website gonna drop real soon. Um, so yeah, and then on top of that, I got my new single, my recent single called Goes On is out right now. That's what I'm pushing. The visual will be out probably by the end of August, early September. And then I got like a 4-track EP I'm gonna drop before the winter. I'm gonna drop it before the winter. And then y'all can expect some visuals off of there, depending on what songs everybody with off of there. I might shoot all 4 visuals for all 4 of them just
I
because.
say do that.
Yeah, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like just putting out that content, man. And yeah, y'all can definitely expect that from me, man. I'm just gonna keep pushing merch, music, and then of course, like on the side note, man, I do real estate. So man, if y'all need real estate, man, and y'all want to tap in commercial units, residential properties, and things like that, I got houses in the hood. We got 2 houses in the hood right
Yeah.
now that has families in them. You know what I
Nice.
mean? I got a house off of Don Block, which is a famous, notorious street from the '60s. We got a crib off Don Block, and we got a crib off Hyde Park. So 2 families are renting those out right now, man. We do stuff. I got properties in Charlotte. We got properties in Mississippi. My brother Trey, who orchestrated the real estate firm, I just kind of joined on as like his senior vice president. He's from Mississippi, so he put me on game with the real estate, and I've been kind of joining hands and learning as I've been going. But of course, if y'all got any questions, any concerns, if y'all want to know anything, y'all want to get into REITs, if y'all want to know anything about, just doing
That's what's up.
Airbnb, yeah, all of that, email me, mark@durcapitalgroup.com. That's DURRCAPITAL.com, man. Hit me on there.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, dog. Dre, this is why I do my motherfucking show right here. It's for people like this to drop game like that, dog. We need more black people in real estate. This motherfucker said REITs. I hope there are motherfuckers Googling REIT right now. Look that shit up. Real estate investment trust is very important. Listen to this man. Follow him. You're a very knowledgeable dude, man, and I hope to have you on soon, homie. We'll do this.
I
We'll have to do a
appreciate
part
y'all.
2. We'll do a part 2 or something.
Let's do it, man. Anytime. You know, you got it.
Sounds good, homie. You have a safe night. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too, bro.
All right.
Be safe.
Peace, man.
All right.